Welcome to the last episode of Emulating Messi. So in today's video we're going to be holidaying all the way until every single player has retired on the game. So we're probably going to have to holiday about 6 years because goalkeepers tend to play all the way up until the age when they're in a retirement home pretty much. But before we get started today, I would like to announce the next series already. Now, it's not going to be called Emulating Messi. I haven't decided the name of the next series yet. There will be a few differences, but first of all, I would like you guys to sign up. The series will be starting in September time. Not sure exactly the date or anything, but you basically have until the end of August the 31st, midnight of August the 31st, to sign up to this series. And there's going to be a couple different ways to sign up again. But before you do sign up, just want to let you know that the differences to the series. First of all, there's not going to be an emulating extra section to the series like I did with this series. I did 5 Emulating Messi extra videos which were over an hour and a half long each. So I'm not going to go into the detail that I have done on this series in regards to looking at every single player in detail, but I will be uploading regular save files for the series. Incidentally, I have uploaded the save file for Emulating Messi, the last save file, which is in the description below, so you can have a look at things in a bit more detail if you wish. It does mean that the emulating videos for the new series will probably be a little bit longer. They're sort of being in between an update and going in depth. We won't look at every single player in depth because there's likely to be over 100 players in this series once again. There is a couple ways you can sign up once again. There is the regular method via YouTube. In the comment section below, just put your name, your position, your nationality and the top 5 attributes that you want your player to have, and I will set them to 20 and everything else will be randomized. Your player will have a current ability this time of 130, and everyone will have a current ability of 130 at the start of this series, but there's different potentials depending on the way that you sign up. If you sign up via YouTube, it will be randomly decided. It will be set to -10, and you will have a potential of something between 170 and 200 current ability. Well, that's going to be your potential, of course. Now, the other way to sign up is via Patreon. Just like last time, I'm giving you the option of guaranteeing your place in the series. 25 to 30 of you will be selected randomly through the YouTube comments, but if you would like to donate or subscribe to my Patreon account, you can do, and you'll guarantee your place in the series. Now, I've added a few different options this time. There's not just 3 options. The first option is a budget option. Now, I have capped this to 15 people because we don't want to have thousands and thousands of people in the series. But if you just want to donate $1 to my Patreon, you will guarantee your place in the series. However, you will only be able to choose your player name. I will set your current ability to 130 and your potential to -10, so the game will randomly generate a potential between 170 and 200, but everything else, nationality, your top attributes, your position, will be randomly decided by the game. So that's just if you really, really want to be in the game, but perhaps, you know, you only got $1, then you can donate that. Obviously, you may just want to try and get lucky by the YouTube method, but I know there's people out there that have been trying for 5 or 6 series and haven't managed to get in. It's just the luck of the draw, because if over 1,000 people put comments in the comment section below, you know, that's just the way it is. And I've also the reason why I'm announcing this at the end of this series, Emulating Messi, is simply to try and cap the number of people commenting, because I know there's people that just come along at the introduction video, see that it's uploaded and comment, and then go away once again until the next series starts in a year's time. This time, first of all, I'm doing a series very soon after this current one, and I'm announcing it at the end of this series, meaning people may not realise. And the real hardcore people, you guys that have followed me, watched my videos regularly, who deserve to be in the series, have a better chance to be in the series. That's my thinking behind it. But getting back to this, there is the same $1.50 reward as previously. However, the differences are that you will be set at 130 current ability rather than 125 on this one, so it's actually slightly improved compared to last time. Everyone's going to be set at 130 regardless of the pledge that you give me. I just think it's going to be fairer this time. It'll level the playing field. We all start at the same ability. I think it'll be a bit more interesting that way. That's my opinion anyway. The next reward is a new one, $3.50. This is quite similar to the $1.50 one. However, you'll be able to pick top 8 attributes. All these 8 attributes will be put at 20 on the editor. And you also get to pick one preferred move. Now, I just need to show you what preferred moves are. So there's all these options on the game. If I just scroll down, if you have no idea what preferred move is, then you can have a look yourself and decide what preferred move you would like. Now the game does randomly decide these itself, but if you would like one guaranteed preferred move, then select, then let me know when you sign up. Now if you sign up through Patreon, all you have to do is go to my wall. Once you've signed up, you're able to post on my wall. For example, here we go. The last person to comment on the wall is Joel Bayford, but that's all you need to do. Once you've pledged, you can comment on my Patreon wall. So that's the $3.50 reward. The next one is the $5 reward, which is the same as previously, except there's a few differences. You now get to pick your top 10 attributes via this way, and you get to pick 3 preferred moves as well. So that's slightly better than the $3.50 version. And then the proper full-on one is $10 per month. The difference is now is I'm not going to upload the videos early because that's just a bit problematic for me. So I'm afraid you won't be able to watch the videos early via this method this time. But there's a few extra things. Top 10 attributes, which is the same as the $5 one. But you get to pick 5 preferred moves. You can choose which club you start at, so I will select a club for you at the start of the save rather than it just being randomly decided, so you can pick where you start. You can also choose any other details you want about your player, so favourite clubs, maybe least favourite clubs. You can choose personality attributes, which is this thing here, so you can choose as many as you want for this. I'm just giving you free reign. You might want 20 loyalty, 10 pressure, 1 professionalism. It's really up to you, so you can decide you don't have to do this, but if you do donate $10, you're allowed to pick your personality attributes there. And lastly, I will put your injury proneness, which is a hidden attribute, I will set it to 1, which is the lowest possible thing. It should mean you won't get injured very often at all on the save. I also will select your potential rating, your current ability will be 130 like everyone else, but your potential will be set to 200, just like on Emulating Messi, meaning you have a better chance of reaching your full potential compared to the other rewards. So that's it. The series will be starting in September. You have until the end of August to sign up. I will be recording most of the videos in one big batch to try and make the series more regular than Emulating Messi, so hopefully every day or every other day it will be uploaded. I just want the series to be better and better every single time. So these are all the options. I've put the link to the Patreon in the description below. Those of you that have already signed up through Patreon, all you need to do is either you can stay on the current pledge, so you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is post on my wall again your player, or you can edit your pledge to something different if you would prefer. So I think you just need to go on there and edit your pledge. There's an option on there to do that, or you can delete your pledge if you don't want to be a part of it anymore. I know some people have already done that. It would be great if you could maybe choose different interesting names. It can be your real name, you can be the same player as before if you like, but maybe change the nationality as well. There was a lot of English players on it previously. It would be nice to have a real mix of nationalities rather than having 20 English players. But that is completely up to you. I would just suggest maybe changing your nationality just to make it a bit more quirky. A bit like me, I chose Mongolian, for example. So we're already almost 10 minutes into this video. I apologise for that, but I just wanted to introduce the new series this way just to get rid of the people that don't really support the series. That's my thinking behind it. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to holiday through year by year until we've all retired, and I'm going to look at a few things, top current ability, just the usual standard things. I've got the save file in the description below if you want to have a look at players in more detail. You'll be able to click on search for the player, and you'll be able to see what they look like when they've retired. Okay, so at the age of 35 now, all the players are. We've only got 97 players remaining, so we've had 14 players retire by this point. Miguel Hernandez is still the player out on top, the Mexican Man City goalkeeper, who's been exceptional on this save. Maybe you guys in the comment section below would also like to let me know your favourite or the best player of the series. You probably won't because you'll be signing up instead, but if you want to, let me know your favourite player of this series. So Miguel Hernandez has been at Man City his whole career. I hope he plays at Man City until the end of his career. It'd be an amazing feat. He's still their first team goalkeeper, which is just brilliant stuff. Josh Asquith is second on the list, as you can see there. Players are declining, as you would expect. The worst player around at the moment is Your Defence is Terrified, playing for Harrisburg City Islanders in USA in the Division 3 Eastern Conference. Very random. If we just go through, the biggest wage is still Howardinho, earning 400k a week at the age of 35 at Man City. Value-wise, Stephen Wolf Jr. is worth the most, 5.25 million. No player has a 5-star world reputation anymore, unfortunately. Caps-wise, Elliot Kelsey, 197 caps for England. I think he's probably retired. Let's have a quick look. He has retired from international duty last summer. I really wanted him to get to 200 caps. He's not going to. I assume Paul Saunders is another that has retired. He hasn't. He's out injured though. Can he get to 200 caps at Australia? I guess we'll find out. Highest goal scorer is still Chris Reed. No one's going to be able to catch up with Chris Reed and Carter because everyone else is basically retired from international duty. If we just look at all-time appearances, Stephen Wolf Jr. 942. Can he get to 1,000? Ben Kenny's on 905 as well. Your Defence is Terrified, 124. He's the lowest. All-time goals, Vestergaard, Paulo Montraria and Chris Reed have all managed to get over that 500 margin. Brilliant achievement. Paulo Montraria is only 5 behind Vestergaard now. Vestergaard's been leading the way for a long time, but it looks like he's slowing down a bit. If we look at the current season, or the season just gone, Asquith with the most appearances. It's really impressive. At the age of 35, making 59 appearances for Liverpool this season. And the top goal scorer was good old Chris Reed. 31 goals in 57 games. I'm sure some of you would put him down as the best player of the series. Hard to argue with Stephen Wolf Jr. because he's won Golden Ball and World Player of the Year, but the goal scoring record of Chris Reed and Paulo Montraria is ridiculous. Assist-wise, Messi, Lionel back on that list. Must have been playing on the wing rather than up front this season for PSG. 24 assists, 10 goals. And average rating-wise, Howardson still out in front, 8.02. He is a ridiculous human being. Okay, it's now the year 2034. There's 79 players left, so quite a few retirements in the last season or so. The top players only have 178 current ability now. Still, you would say world class. Over 175 is a world class player in my eyes. Asquith, Ragnarsson, Stephen Wolf Jr., Miguel Hernandez are the players with 178 current ability. The lowest is Your Defence is Terrified, still refusing to retire. It's made quite a few more appearances actually for Harrisburg. Still going strong, sort of. So let's go through then. I'm just going to have a look at Josh Asquith because he's been fantastic the last few years in his older age for Liverpool, where he's been the majority of his career. He's scoring goals. I mean, it's only the last few years that he started to score goals. He's added goals to his game. He's been brilliant. He's only got 10 on finishing, but yeah, getting quite a few goals every single season now. Wage-wise, I think Howardinho has retired by the looks of it. It's now Felix Arfut and Johnny Darko earning 350k a week at PSG, the top earners. Highest value is still Stephen Wolf Jr., although he's tied with Chris Reed on £4.9 million. World ranking, no 5-star players still. We've got 4.5-star players there. International caps, Paul Saunders has got to 191. Ben Kearney's not far behind on 190. We might see a player get to 200. And goals-wise, it's obviously still the same. There might be a few differences lower down, depending on who's still scoring goals, who's still playing internationally. Stephen Wolf Jr. is so close to 1,000. Surely he's going to get there, unless he decides to retire, of course. Don't think it's not listed as he's going to retire soon, but he might decide to. Loads of players have got to 900 all-time appearances. The second worst player's got to 300 all-time appearances. So Your Defence is Terrified, miles behind. All-time goals, Paulo Montraria is now leading the way with 546. Chris Reed's also caught up with Vestergaard, both on 539. So Paulo Montraria, despite being a player that never... I think he got to 179 current ability. So he was way off some of the other stars in this series. Has continued to score goals every year. 41 goals 3 seasons ago, 26 last season, 16 this season. Has dropped off a bit now, he's older, but still scoring goals regularly. And assist-wise, it was actually Ragnarsson Marcus Grant and Vestergaard with 15, but Ragnarsson's a defensive player and he got 15 assists. I know he plays defensive midfield, but he was predominantly a centre-back who's been converted into a central midfielder. Look, he played central midfield mainly this season for Chelsea, despite being 36 years old. You'd have thought it'd be sort of going back up the pitch. He's going forwards up the pitch. It's really quite strange. Average rating wise, Vestergaard is actually out on top, ahead of Howardson. I always get confused between Magnus Vestergaard and Sondre Vestergaard, but I've always pronounced it Vestergaard, so I always get them two muddled up because they're quite similar names. But yeah, Vestergaard, Magnus Vestergaard, the Man City player, biggest average rating, then it's Howardson, dropping down to second place. So in 2035, the player's now 37 years old. There's only 35 players left, so lots of players have retired. But the best players on the game, Ragnarsson, Chris Reed, Stephen Wolf Jr. and Asquith, still going. A lot of these players retired early from international duty to probably lengthen their club career. They are still going and they're still playing for the top clubs. It's quite remarkable, really. They haven't moved to America. They haven't moved to UAE or anything, or to Australia or to China for the money. They've stayed in England or Spain and still going. A brilliant achievement from them. Your Defence is Terrified has retired. Ben Savage, James Stewart, Horvath are the three players with under 100 current ability. But Ben Savage has moved to America, moved there a few years ago, and is doing pretty well over there. If we look at caps wise, Miguel Hernandez has the most caps. He's still playing for Mexico. He's come from nowhere and he's overtaken Kelsey. So he's the most capped player. Oh, surely he's going to get to 200 actually. Ben Kenny, 195 caps. He's still going. Stephen Wolf Jr., 191. It's pretty insane, really. Oh, did Paul Saunders get to 200? Because he has retired. Let's have a look at him. 194 caps. So close, but so far. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at highest wage. It is actually Miguel Hernandez and Josh Asquith, who's moved to Man City in his grand old age. Moved for £4.2 million at the age of 37. What the hell? Value-wise, Chris Reed is now the biggest value, £4.9 million. If we just look at goals, that's not going to change. All-time appearances, he's got there. Stephen Wolf Jr. has blasted up to 1,033 all-time club appearances. That is an incredible record. Howardson is not too far behind, 50 appearances behind on 983. Chris Reed's next. Lots of players have got to 900. There's a few that obviously got to 900 and have retired now. All-time goals, Paulo Montraria has retired. So Chris Reed has taken on the baton of being the top goal scorer of the series, 567. Vestergaard for PSG is still going, but he's not playing for PSG, so I don't think he's really added any goals. Stephen Wolf Jr. a long way behind, but it looks like Chris Reed is going to be the top goal scorer of the series then, because Paulo Montraria, if we just have a look at him, here he is, Paulo Montraria. I always call him Paulo Montraria, it's Paulo Montraria. It doesn't show, this is the annoying thing about the game, because it doesn't show their all-time goals. It only shows their club goals, their league goals, I think. You can see here, 65 goals in 99 games for Nigeria, but it doesn't show, because obviously he's got over 500 goals at club level. It's not showing that on his biography, unfortunately, but that's just the way the game works. It's a bit irritating. I don't know why it does that. It is irritating, in my opinion, because he's the most league goals scored for Atletico. It shows 325, which is that number, almost. Yeah, 325, yeah, exactly. It doesn't show club goals, Champions League goals, that sort of thing. So, it's not particularly accurate. But I think Chris Reed is now the highest goal scorer ever. Looking at appearances this season, Nick Hoover, 55 appearances for PSG, still playing. Goals wise, Chris Reed, top goal scorer this season, 28 goals for Real Madrid. He's still going, it's brilliant. Ben Kearney, most assists from right back, 12. Oh, he's moved away from his boyhood club Arsenal. The ex-England captain, yeah, he did retire from international duty only last summer actually. But he's moved away from Arsenal on a free. Why? Arsenal could have kept him. Sure, I assume he either rejected a contract or they didn't offer him one. And he's gone to Real Madrid. He's obviously still a very good player to get a gig at Real Madrid. And had another very good season. But started at Hull, moved to Arsenal. I know Ben Kearney has tweeted me. He said he supports Arsenal. So dream come true. Captain in Arsenal in England. But he's moved away and moved to Real Madrid. But still, I guess, ending his career on a high. Average rating, highest was Howardson once again, 7.67. So it's now 2036 and we've only got 9 players left at the age of 38, 4 of which are goalkeepers, as you can see there. Highest current ability is the Mexican Miguel Hernandez. Josh Asquith still playing. Ben Kearney still playing for Real Madrid as well. Unbelievable stuff. Highest wage is now Josh Asquith, 325k a week. Biggest value, Ben Kearney still. At the age of 38, he's worth 3.5 million. World reputation, we've got a few players with 4-star reputation. Caps wise, Miguel Hernandez is the only player to get to 200 caps. What an achievement. Well done, Miguel Hernandez, the goalkeeper for Mexico. Is he still in the team? He hasn't retired. He's wanted by Tottenham actually, but he's still playing for Man City, still making appearances for them as well. The top goal scorer out of the players remaining is Alex Williams, 41 goals for Wales. All-time appearances out of the players still playing is Miguel Hernandez. So Stephen Wolf Jr. has retired. He got over 1,000 appearances. Can Miguel Hernandez break that? We can't be sure how many Stephen Wolf Jr. made, because if he's only just retired this summer, if he's retired last summer, we know it's 1,033 appearances. If it was this summer, just the last month or so, we can't really work it out because it doesn't show, like I said, it doesn't show their all-time appearances on their retired biography, which is very irritating. I would urge Sports Interactive to change that. There might be a way of working it out if someone can tell me, but I don't think there is. All-time goals out of the players still remaining is actually Josh Asquith, 151. A lot of those goals have come in the last few years. Most appearances the last season, Hernandez still the main goalkeeper for Man City. Ben Kearney playing lots of games for Real Madrid, and he was also top goal scorer this season. But most assists was Josh Asquith, and highest average rating, Ben Kearney. Quite brilliant stuff. So it's now 2037. There's 4 players standing. Miguel Hernandez, highest current ability out of the lot. Ben Kearney next. Then Max Springer, the fake Max Springer, is the 3rd best player. And then James Stewart still playing. Credit to him, because he's certainly not a very good player now. He's okay, but that's about it. But he's decided to still play. So that is some achievement in itself. He's a Man United legend, sort of. He didn't really have a huge amount of game time there in his career. He's one of the lower. Maybe that's why he's still playing. He's not played a huge number of games in his career up to this point. But since going to Brentford, he's played a lot of games. Then moved to Italy, played quite a few games. Then moved to Russia. He's still going. I applaud him for that. Highest wage, Ben Kearney still earning 215k a week at Real Madrid, and he's still worth £2.3 million, and he's got the best world reputation out of the 4 remaining players. Hernandez has he added to his caps? Don't think so. Ben Kearney, the top goal scorer, caps internationally out of the players remaining. But Miguel Hernandez has got to 1,000 all-time appearances. If he breaks 1,033, then we may not know if it was him or Stephen Wolf Jr. who made the most appearances. But if he doesn't break that number, we know it's Stephen Wolf Jr. So, Hernandez, are you going to retire soon? He is. Ooh, he's retiring soon. But when is he retiring? Oh, he's retiring next year. So, will he make enough appearances in the next season to break 1,033 appearances? We will find out. Max Springer's also up there. He's retiring in a few days' time. Ben Kearney is also retiring in a few days' time. And James Jones is retiring in a few days' time as well. So we're only going to have Hernandez in the last update. He'll be the last man standing. All-time goals out of the players remaining, it's Ben Kearney out on top. For the past season, Hernandez and Springer both made 36 appearances. Kearney scored 3 goals, got the most assists, and the highest average rating as well. 2038, this is the last man standing. He's about to retire, so I'm ending it here. This is the last update of emulating Messi. And Miguel Hernandez went the whole distance, up to the age of 40. 1,021 appearances, so he hasn't beaten Stephen Wolf Jr. So Stephen Wolf Jr. has definitely made the most appearances. We don't know his true number, but he's certainly made more than Hernandez in his career. So well done to Stephen Wolf Jr., probably the best player of the series. Some of you may disagree, but it's kind of hard to argue with his statistics, I suppose. He didn't make many more appearances in his last season, only 5. 127 current abilities, ended on decent average rating. What a player. Let's just have a look at him to end it. The player that went the whole distance, that pace of 1 and acceleration of 2. Yeah, he's pretty much using a Zimmer frame to get around now, isn't he? So we need to end it by looking at a few things like World Golden Ball. I don't think anyone has added to to Stephen Wolf Jr.'s victories. The last time he won it was at the age of 33, and we've been up. Today's video has been from the age of 34 onwards. So if we just go up, Messi Lionel finished second at the age of 35, and Stephen Wolf Jr. was third. Did anyone else get in there? No. But pretty impressive to get on that list at the age of 35. Lee Gamble was the last person to win World Player of the Year, as you can see there. Messi Lionel finished third at the age of 34 and second at the age of 35. But that was it for the World Player of the Year. World Team of the Year, if we just go back to, let's go back to 2033, I suppose we started. Howardson was still featuring, and Messi Lionel, as you can see there, Max Spinger, Stephen Wolf Jr., Chris Reed, Ben Kearney. And the year after, Kearney featured again, as did Max Spinger. And then Ben Kearney featured in 2035 as well, when he'd moved to Real Madrid, as you can see there. I think he's the only player on that list though, and all featuring in 2036 as well. So, I mean, there's an argument that Ben Kearney's been the best player of the series. But then there's also an argument for Howardson getting the highest average ratings pretty much every year. He didn't feature on the last one though. If we look at all seasons, this is interesting. Ben Kearney's on that list. Cristiano Ronaldo's on that list. Chris Reed, Daniel Jordan, Neymar, Stephen Wolf Jr., Lionel Messi and Messi Lionel, and Howardson. So those are the outstanding players. Ben Kearney, Chris Reed, Daniel Jordan, Stephen Wolf Jr., Howardson and Messi Lionel. You can't really argue with that, can you? You could argue that Polinor Montreira should be in there, but we've got so many strikers. Chris Reed is the player that featured on that list. Just having a look at a few other things. There's the reputation of the clubs and the finances. Arsenal, the richest club in the world. World Cup wise, we saw England win it twice, of course, earlier on in this save, but then Portugal and Argentina have won the last two. France have been third place in the last three. Australia, runners-up in 2030 though, so we would have had Paul Saunders and, who was the other guy? The other Australian, sorry, forgotten your name, featuring as runners-up, because I think they were still playing at that point, so that is some achievement. And the Euros, last few years, we saw Portugal, Italy and Germany win it. No real surprises on that list at all. Champions League-wise, the recent winners. Liverpool managed to win a Champions League finally, probably ironically, just as all the other players had left. All the superstars that we had, they finally won the Champions League. Dortmund, the English dominance did actually end. Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Real Madrid, PSG and Lyon winning it in recent years. So, Ben Kearney may have won the Champions League with Real Madrid in that season. I don't know how many players of ours has won the Champions League with different teams, like with more than one team. This is the Euro Cup, which Liverpool tended to do pretty well in this. We saw Barcelona, a few different winners in the last few years. Liverpool won it in 2037, so they won the Euro Cup and then the Champions League in consecutive years. Let's look at the leagues then. You can see Man City won the most recent one. They have dominated the last few years, as you can see there. The Ladbrokes Premiership, Celtic won every year apart from when Aberdeen won it in 2026. There's of course no point looking at the stats because they're all regens and all of our players have now retired. Portuguese Premier League, Benfica, the recent winners. Sporting have won it as well in recent years. La Liga has been completely dominated the last 14 years by Real Madrid. Barcelona have not had a single sniff. Really interesting that, how Real Madrid have just dominated. Serie A has changed. Juventus are definitely not dominating anymore. The last 6 seasons have been won by different teams. And I don't know if I've really heard of Spezia. How long have they been in the top division? I don't know anything about them, but they've managed to win the league twice in a row, and Napoli have won the last 2 times. No surprises in Liga, and the PSG dominated once again the last few years. Lyon the only other winners of this division. The Bundesliga has seen a few different winners in recent years. Dortmund have won it a couple of times, and Cologne have also managed to win the title, but Bayern Munich generally dominated this. And we shall finish with the Brazilian National First Division, because I did load them into the game. However, we haven't actually looked at them, but you can see that Santos dominated a number of years. But there's been a few different winners over the entire save. So we'll end it there, guys. That is the end of emulating Messi. Like I said, the save file is in the description below if you want to have a look at some of the retired biographies of these players. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see them in great detail, apart from the players, I guess, that haven't retired and have become coaches, Just have a look at me. No, I retired. There surely is some players that didn't decide. Let's have a look at Ben Kearney. He's the sort of player that will become a coach. I'm right. So you'll be able to see Ben Kearney in detail because he hasn't retired. He's still a coach on the game, so you can have a look at his last few seasons. But like I said, this thing here only shows the bottom overall. Only shows league appearances. You have to click on each individual one, and I guess then you'll have to add them all up individually if you want to figure out the all-time appearances. I don't think there's any other way, which is just really weird, but oh well, there you go. Well, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the series. Please hit the like button if you did. If you want to sign up for the next series in September, put your details in the comment section below. Please only put them in the comment section below if you aren't doing it via Patreon as well. If you're doing the Patreon method, don't put your comment in the comment section below because that's just taking it away from someone else. Please, only one player per person as well. And I will select the players at random at the start of September, make all the players, make the series, and then probably mid to late September the series will start and continue until it has been finished. I will see you soon, guys.